Hello guys, welcome to my humble YouTube channel where I bring you fanfiction that will brighten your days. Before we start, a subscribe is greatly appreciated, and don't forget to leave a like and ring the bell icon so you won't miss exciting new fanfiction stories. Rimuru's journey for his beloved, Arifureta, from commonplace to world's strongest, by Sakura Arashi. Chapter 25. Fia Belgain. I am Alfreric Hypist, an elder of Fia Belgain. I've heard of your request, but before that, I'd like to ask, where did you hear the name, Liberators? The elderly elf asked. From the creator of one of the great dungeon, Orcus. He told us their story, Rimuru answered. The elderly elf took a good look at Rimuru before smiling. He then asked, "Forgive me, but would you mind showing me some kind of proof?" Of course, no one would believe the claim of having to meet one of the creators of the great dungeon without proof. It's okay. Someone that's wise as you wouldn't believe such a claim with no proof, Rimuru answered. Hajime, if you would please. Hajime then put his hand out towards the elder, showing him the ring and the engraved symbol on it. I see, this certainly looks like his symbol. Would you mind telling me where you obtained it? He asked further. Rimuru could see Hajime getting annoyed by all the questions, but he told him to just calm down, through thought communication. We got it from one of the great dungeon after making it to the end. All right. You're allowed to stay in Fia Belgain. By the power of my name, I'll let you stay. Hold on, wait a minute. We only have business with the great tree. If there's no problem, then we'll continue heading towards the great tree, Hajime blurted out. Rimuru was thinking the same thing, except he didn't choose to say it out loud. Why? Because he noticed the elder is someone who's smart and very wise. He wouldn't try to keep them without any reason. As expected, Seal confirmed what he had thought. Open double angle bracket master. It's currently impossible for our guide to bring us to the great tree. Close double angle bracket. Close double angle bracket. Huh? What do you mean, currently impossible? Open double angle bracket. Open double angle bracket master. The fog near the great tree is thicker than other parts of the sea of trees. Even demi-humans get lost. They can only bring us there during certain cycles when the fog is weakened. Close double angle bracket. Seal explained. Close double angle bracket. Ah, I see. Thanks, Seal. Open double angle bracket. I swear, they love to forget all the important details, I thought. I am afraid that's currently impossible for you to go there, the elder said. This confused Hajime, while the bunnies started to sweat as they realized what they had forgotten. You, who noticed the bunnies sweating, came up with a thought. Why? Wait. What do you mean? Hajime asked. Near the great tree. The fog there is specially thick, even us demi-humans get lost there. Only at certain cycle when the fog is weakened can you go there. It's supposed to be common knowledge for demi-humans. He said, saying the last part with a sigh. This pretty much confirmed what Yu was thinking. Now it's just a matter of how to punish them. Hajime glared over at the tribe only to see them avoiding his glare while sweating. Oi! What's the meaning of this? He asked. Yeah, I forgot about that. What can I say? There was a lot happening and I've only been there once when I was a child, so I forgot about it. Cam, who was desperately trying to find an excuse, said. Hajime and Yu, who was beyond irritated, glared at Cam more. Shay. And the others too. Why didn't you tell me about the cycle? You were guiding to right? He said, blaming the others. Wah? Father, why are you putting the blame on us? It's because you were so confident that I thought the cycle was near, Shay responded. Yeah. We thought it was strange, but seeing the chief so confident we thought we were wrong, one of the rabbitmen said. Cam, who blamed Shay and the others, starts getting blamed himself. Everyone started blaming someone. Why, you lot? Is this how family are supposed to be? It's a shared responsibility. Hajime Dono, please don't just punish me. Punish them as well, Cam said. Father, how dirty. Don't get us involved. And you call yourself a chief, Shay said. With a tick mark on Hajime's head, he muttered a single word. Hearing Hajime, Yu took a step forward, then held her hand out. The rabbitman, noticing this, suddenly had a cramped expression. Why, Yu-san, if you're gonna do it, just aim it towards father, Shay said. Ha ha ha. We'll always be together, Cam said. To hell with that. Yu-san, please only punish father, Shay begged. Yeah, it's not my fault, it's the chief's fault. To the Howlia tribe, who was in chaos, Yu quietly muttered. Storm Emperor. A GHHH, Suddenly a whirlwind appeared, catching all the rabbitmen and sucking them all up high into the sky. Their screams echoed through the sea of trees. Even the other surrounding demi-human looked to the sky amused and entertained. Even Arifureta. It seems the Howlia tribe wasn't exactly well liked. After that whole fiasco, they continued moving forward, this time guided by Gil, the tiger-like demi-human. After walking for about an hour, they arrived at a place where the fog was cleared up. At least some of it was. Not all of the fog was cleared up. In fact, the fog formed into a road. If you looked closely, crystals as big as a fist was buried at the side of the road. It was emitting a blue light. It also seemed to have the ability to ward off the fog. Hajime looked at the crystal with curiosity, while Rimuru only looked at them once before losing interest. On the other hand, Yu was looking at it like some kind of rare jewelry. Girls will be girls, Hajime thought. Arifureta, who noticed Hajime's curiosity towards the crystal, began to explain. They're called the Fedrain crystal. We don't know the reason why, but it has TBE ability to ward off the fog and even the monsters. We used it and surrounded Fia Belgain and its surrounding villages with it, he explained. I see. Well, it certainly would have been depressing if the place I live in is covered in fog, Hajime said. Not having fog inside the town was good news, because according to the elder, they'll have to wait 10 days before they can make it to the Great Tree. Having to stay in a town filled with fog would have been pretty depressing. Yu was glad to find out the place they're staying in is cleared of fogs. Rimuru didn't mind that much since he can perfectly see through the fog, but it was still a win since the atmosphere created in a foggy place is depressing compared to a clear sunny day. After following the road created by the fog for a short while, they reached a gate. It was made by thick trees intertwined forming an arch, while a pair of wooden doors were placed at a span of 10 meters. The natural wall of trees were there at the minimum height of 30 meters. It gave off the magnificence suitable for demi-humans, country. Gil then gave a signal to one of the demi-human. He was the gatekeeper. After the signal, the gate slowly opened, making heavy sounds. From the top of the surrounding trees, piercing glances were directed at Hajime and the others. It seems they can't hide their agitation for the fact that humans were coming. Without Arifureta, they'll surely get into trouble with only Gil's assistance. After passing through the gate, a whole different world could be seen compared to the one outside where the fog resides. Huge trees with the diameter of tens of meters could be seen. Inside the tree was the people dwelling, and from open space of tree trunk that looks like windows was overflowed with light of lamps. Dozens of people can be seen walking on the corridors made of thick intertwined branches of trees. On the big vines of trees, there are elevator-like things using the pulley. There were also huge wooden waterway that set up to hang between trees. The trees itself has the height around 20 stories. The atmosphere from outside was totally different. Outside was cold and harsh, here was warm and beautiful. The three muttered a word at the same time. Beautiful, they muttered. The three was in awe and amazement. They were totally mesmerized with open mouth, fascinated by the beautiful cityscape. Arifureta, seeing this, loosened his expression in joy. The surrounding demi-humans, including Howlia tribe, looked very proud of it. Hajime, who saw their appearance, honestly praised the city. What a very beautiful place. I've never seen anything like this before. Truly a magnificent place that harmonizes with nature, Hajime said. Very beautiful, Yu said. It certainly is beautiful. I mean, I expected it to look great, but this is just truly beautiful, Rimuru said. Tempest has a different style to it. Well, partially because I designed it to resemble Japan a little. I didn't want a modernized world, so I used my power to completely stop any advancement towards things like guns and stuff. To be honest, I might add a district just like this. I mean, Ramirez's labyrinth has something similar to this, but I want something like this on the surface, Rimuru thought to himself. Having heard such straightforward praise without any falsehood, as expected, it made the demi-humans a little surprised. However, having their hometown praised surely made them happy. All of them tried to avert their face with a HMPF, while their beast ears and tails were vigorously moved. They then continued towards the place Arifureta arranged for them to meet. Hollow diamond, hollow diamond, hollow diamond, hollow diamond, hollow diamond, hollow diamond. I see, they're just trials to obtain the Age of Gods magic. Also about the Gods game. Currently, Hajime, Rimuru and Yu are discussing the things they know about the liberators. The things they've talked about so far are the world being a game for the gods and how the liberators are the ones who created the great dungeon as a trial to obtain their magic. Even after hearing about the world being a plaything for the gods, Arifureta has no change in his expression, causing Rimuru to ask why. "You don't seem to care about the gods," Rimuru said. "That's because demi-humans have never been treated fairly, plus this place isn't under the influence of the church, that's why I don't react," he replied. "I see, you have a very good point. This world's demi-humans are always hunted and captured so that they can be sold as slaves. Not only that, since the church has no influence here, the revolution about the gods meant nothing." "I'd like to ask you people a question," Arifureta said. Now it was his turn to ask a question. "Why are you traveling to collect all the gods' age magic? What's your goal with them?" he asked, staring at them. "To go home," Hajime said, answering him with no hesitation. "Home? What do you mean? Why would you need such powers to go home?" he asked. "You see, we're not from this world. We were summoned here by a god named EHT. He summoned us here as his new chess piece," Rimuru explained. He then continued and explained their whole story, from how they were just regular high school students, to being summoned along with their classmates, how Hajime fell and how he survived and how they got here to this moment. "You people have certainly been through a lot," Arifureta said. "All we want is to collect all the gods' age magic and go home, back to our world," Hajime said. "I see, really you're just young kids who were forced here. I admire you people for staying so strong," he said. "Well anyways, let me tell you our tradition. It was a tradition for them, passed down from the elders of the past. It said if someone with who bore the crest of 7 great dungeons appeared, then don't be hostile to them. What's more was if they'd like, bring them to their destination. That was their tradition passed down from elder to elder. The crest of the great dungeons was engraved on one of the roots of the tree. That's how Arifureta was able to identify Hajime's crest.